Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another interesting review and another Oberfränkisches Weißbier. This one is from Brauerei Ott, located in Oberleinleiter, the town Oberleinleiter, located in Leinleiter Tal in Oberfranken. And it comes in this NRW bottle, as you can see. And finally it's time for a Weißbier here again on the channel. It was a really long while since I had a Weißbier on the channel, and the reason for that is that I'm into Franconia beers at the moment, and Weißbier is not the most popular beer style in Franconia. As you know, Weißbier is the most popular beer style in Bavaria, and Franconia is not Bavaria, so Franconia is more about other beer styles, like the big brewing tradition in Franconia has been creating some special beer styles. They drink a lot of Rauchbier, Rotbier, Kellerbier, Zwickel, Dunkel, Landbier, Lager, Helles, Pils, and many of those other beer styles, but yeah, and some Weißbiers, but Weißbiers of course mostly connected to Bavaria, so I made an exception. I do have some other beers from this brewery, Brauerei Ott, which is of course the first beer from this brewery that I'm having on the channel, since I review only one from each brewery, because there are endless of breweries and it's funnier to review one from each brewery than many from one brewery and skip some breweries, in my opinion. But the reason for why I'm choosing a Weißbier from this Brauerei Ott and not the export or the Dunkel or some other ones that I'm having also from this brewery is that I really like the label from this, especially on this Weißbier. The other beers from this brewery is having a little bit more boring labels in my opinion, but the Weißbier label is really looking great and standing out with a picture of this mountain. In my opinion, it reminds me a lot of the Brauerei Michael Weissenstetter Kellerbier, if you remember that, which I've been reviewing before, because on that label it was also a picture. It was a picture of a beer cellar, a beer keller, where the Kellerbier is stored. That was a really interesting label also, which reminds me a lot of this one. Otherwise it's not that common with these kind of labels, so it has been catching my interest a lot. If you don't remember that beer, please check it out on my channel, Brauerei Michael Weissenstetter Kellerbier. But this is all about Brauerei Ott, and label looking like this. Brauerei Ott, as you can see. There's top label, there's the crown cap, NRW bottle, as I mentioned. And when it's Weißbier time, I'm gonna show you of course the technique of how to pour up a Weißbier properly. First of all, you need to have a Weißbier glass, and it looks like this. Rinse the glass, use only cold water, like this, as you can see. Cold water, very important to make the beer be poured up in the correct way. Don't dry it afterwards, it should be with water, and you open up the bottle like this, and you hold the glass in an angle like this, 45-degree angle. Let the beer be poured very slow, nice and gentle into the glass. You can start to build up a foam head like this, and you seal it up. Bit of beer at the very bottom of the bottle, swirl the bottle, and you pour up the rest like this. Usually you should build up a foam head that rises far above the edge of the glass. I didn't manage to do that in this case, unfortunately, but it was my mission, but I did fail. Sometimes you do that, and sometimes you succeed. It's not so very easy to pour up a Weißbier in the correct way, but let's get the aroma, which is of course really typical Weißbier aroma with the banana and cloves taste, which is really dominant. Always the right time for a Weißbier in my opinion, so let's give it a try, the Brauerei Ott Weißbier. Prost! Yeah, of course, really fresh and nice in my opinion. It has the typical Weißbier taste, as I mentioned, with a dominant banana taste that many calls it, and which is quite funny, because that's actually a good description of it. A Weißbier, German Weißbier. in this case a Franconia Weißbier. And of course I really love Weißbiers. That's a great beer style in my opinion. Never a bad moment to have a Weißbier. If we're gonna take a closer look at the label, we can see that it looks like this. Here you see the top label and the main label, Brauerei Weißbier. Really nice. And the information is Braustätte site 1678, alcohol content 5.2%, volume Brauerei Oberleinleiter 691332, Heiligenstadt. Weißbier nach dem deutschen Reinheitsgebot gebraut. Originale Flaschengärung. Zutaten: Brauwasser, Weizen und Gerstemalz, Hopfen, Hefe. Yeah, that's the information here on the bottle, site 1678, aus tradition privat Weißbier. Of course, a really nice family brewery, this one. Now, over to some books about Franconia brews that I'm having. As you know, if you've been following my channel before, I really like to take a look at how the brewery is looking like when I review a beer from a specific brewery. I found that really interesting to read about the history of the brewery. Here is Brauerei Ott, looking like this. Looking like the typical Franconia brewery. Manfred Ott, Brauerei Ott, Bier aus dem Leitertal, Heiligenstadt, Oberleinleiter, founded 1678. Biersorten Edelpils, Export, Hefeweizen, Hell, and Oberladara, which is dunkel. Meist getrunken is Pils, annual output 7,000 hectoliters. Brauerei Gasthof Ott. That's information from that book. Now over to the other book about Franconia breweries that I'm having, which is this book right here. Very good book, written by my friend Markus Raupach. Here you see also Brauerei Gasthof Ott. And information is founded 1678, Stefan und Manfred Ott. Annual output 10,000 hectoliters. Großer Sode im Leinleitertal mit ihrem sechsstelligen Bierausstoß gehört die Brauerei Ott zu den großen im Landkreis, hat sich aber trotzdem ihre Urigkeit als fränkisches Brauhaus bewahrt. Sie steht am Fuß des 520 Meter hohen Kreuzsteinfelsens, von dem aus man einen perfekten Blick über das Leinleitertal und den fränkischen Jura hat. Bockbier-Anstich ist im November. Biersorten Oberladara, Export, Edelpils und Weizen. Der Klassiker Oberladara. Okay? Grüß Gott, Herr Ott. Brauerei Ott, Bier aus dem Leinleitertal. This is a great Weißbier and a great brewer, of course. Big recommendation by me. I hope you can find beers from this brewery and judge for yourselves. I will link to in the description box below the brewer's website, from which you can find more information, history and so on, more about the other beers that this brewery is having, so feel free to check out that well as if you're interested. Yeah. This is a great Weißbier and a great brewery. And it was really great to have a Weißbier again on the channel. As I mentioned, it's a beer style that I like really much, the taste of and the history of it and so on. And I did explain earlier why I've been waiting so much for a Weißbier to be reviewed and why I did choose Weißbier from this specific brewery. But there will be many more Weißbiers on the future when I'm gonna review the rest of Bavaria, so feel free to look forward to that if you're interested. That's all for this time about Brauerei Ott Weißbier. Hope you like my reviews and see you again in next Franconia beer review.